And we are live on another edition of the K and K Sports Show. Week 2 NFL in the books. I believe week 3 or I'm not sure. Yeah, weeks. I still think it's week 2 in the books because there was a week 0 for college football. And we got a lot to talk about. I'm not even going to get into the debacle that I had last Sunday, right, Graham? We'll get into that later. But let's have a good show tonight. A lot to talk about. Big football weekends coming up. We got some pennant races coming up. So let's get going. Mr. Carson Shear, how are you?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. And yeah, playoff baseball is right around the corner. Got a segment about that later on in the show. And NFL's here, ready to rock and roll. Lions big win over the Bears and ready for Monday Night Football. So what's up, guys? How we doing?
Graham, how are you backstage? Our good friend Graham's back with us this week. What's up, Graham?
Doing good. Avalanche training camp starts tomorrow. So it's always a good time for hockey fans.
Love it. Mr. Kirkpatrick.
I'm doing well. Graham, put in the links if you don't mind what you do with the Avalanche. If you got a website people can go to, if you want to, you can definitely start plugging that, and we'll talk about that as the weeks come up for sure with hockey. You do a great job over there, and I'd like you to get recognized for it. I'm doing well, Kurt. You talk about debacle. I don't know what the definition of debacle is, because if you saw the Giants game, that's the definition of debacle. How we lost to the Cowboys, I don't even want to get into it. I want to get into the week ahead, college football and Major League Baseball. So, but I'm doing well. Looking forward to the fun hour with everybody, and let's roll.
Can I ask you a question? What are you doing after this show tonight?
What am I doing after the show?
Yeah.
Not much.
Okay, because it looks like you're going to go hunting. You look like you have your hunting gear on.
Well, I've been hunting a cricket for the past week and a half. He went from the computer room to the living room, so I still can't find him. But he's hiding somewhere. He's a good one, so I got to camouflage myself a little bit there.
All right, just checking. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure you're not hunting a Siciliano over there, Mr. Sis over there. Michael Ronquillo saying hi. Kurt, Kenny, Paul, Carson, and Graham. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Michael.
Mr. Rosen, how are you? Mr. Rosen, you had a tough back-to-back couple hours on Saturday night and Sunday. So if I thought I was bad and Kenny was bad, you had a double trouble one.
And throwing my Mets in 8-game losing streak. So yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Graham. Guys, good evening, Elmer Fudd. To my left. Anyway, yeah. I think the last time I looked in the dictionary, the word debacle, there was a picture of the Giants helmet in there. So we'll leave it at that.
All right, Mr. Kirkpatrick, I'm going to pass it to you.
Yeah, I got a fun agenda for everybody. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Kurt. My bad. We're going to start it off with college football this week, guys. We'll give everybody some time to come in. So I like to do NFL in the middle of the show when our audience starts to, come in. But in the meantime, I got some college football for everybody. And this week's theme is should they or shouldn't they? AP Top 25 came out. I got a couple teams listed here. I'm going to give each of you guys a team, and you just tell me, should they be in the top 25 or should they be out of the top 25? The first one I'm going to give is Kurt. You're a fan of this team. Clemson Tigers, 1-2, Kurt, unranked, lost to LSU though, who's ranked number 2, and lost to what I said last week is a very dangerous Georgia Tech team. Should this team still be in the top 25, ranked 1-2, or did they get it right by keeping them out?
You know what? I'm going to answer that twofold. Are they one of the top 25 teams in the country? Yes. Should they be in the top 25? No. You just can't keep getting rewarded for losing games. You shouldn't have lost. I mean, listen, LSU, okay, that's a tough one. But again, you lost that in your building. Now you go on, you go here. You couldn't stop. I mean, Georgia Tech ran like one play the whole game, quarterback power and counter with the quarterback. They couldn't stop it. So, no, they don't deserve it. They don't.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And, I might as well go to my next team. I'm going to hit Carson with the Big Ten. Michigan, ranked 21 right now. 2-1, lost to Oklahoma. Oklahoma could be a surprising team this year. They're ranked 11 now. I believe 11. They might even be ranked a little higher. They lost to Oklahoma 24-13 and then 2 cakewalks. And they're ranked 21, Carson. Should they still be in the top 25 or kick them out?
Yeah, again, it's so tough because, like you said, the first couple of games of the college football year, usually you get one interesting team and then a bunch of cakewalks and you get into conference play. So it's Michigan. It's because of the brand. They want the ratings. They're going to put them in the top 25. Should they be there? Maybe not. But if they start to pick up a couple Big Ten wins, then they rightfully should. As much as I can't stand them, Michigan does belong for now. I'm going to say yes.
I agree. I'll keep them there in the top 25, but at the bottom. I do want to get a comment that came on my feed, Kurt. Roy Osborne saying hello.
Hey, Roy.
He's been hunting, and the damn rat is pissing him off, but he got the coyote that was migrating back and forth in his creek bed. I got crickets. Ooh. He's got coyotes.
He had a little more bigger issue than you did, Kenny.
Really?
Yeah, just a little. But
here's my suggestion to Roy. Call Acme Manufacturing Company and have them send a rocket to for the coyote.
Roadrunner coyote, absolutely.
Right.
Well, I got to do this. I'm sorry. I got to give you.
Hey, I knew it was coming.
Ranked 24, 0-2, but they lost to 2 top teams. My Miami Hurricanes, top 5 team, and they lost to Texas A&M, now ranked number 10. Should they still be in the top 25 or kick them out?
I don't think so. I'm shocked actually they're in the top 25, quite honestly. But like Kurt said, the ratings with Michigan. Listen, I've watched every second of those 2 games, and they do not deserve to be in the top 25. I'm sorry. No way, no how. Their defense has been horrible. The offense, okay, CJ Carr, new quarterback. He's getting his footing in. They finally decided to use their 2 great running backs on Saturday night. But short of that, the defense has been absolutely atrocious. And I think they miss Al Golden a lot from Cincinnati. And you notice Cincinnati's defense has been pretty good. The Bengals, the first 2 games of the year, seems to be a correlation. But no, absolutely, they should not be in the top 25. I think the last time I was reading that 0-2 team started and was still in the top 25, 1988, the Michigan Wolverines were still in the top 25.
Well said. I agree with you. I agree. I think this team should be there in place of Notre Dame, but it's a popularity contest, as we all know, and that's what it seems like. Now Notre Dame gets the easier part of their schedule, which looks like on paper now, and they could stay in the hunt. And I just don't like it. It's popularity, unfortunately. Hey, I deal with it with baseball, the Yankees, popularity, you deal with it with other sports. So Notre Dame's going to be the popular choice for and get the benefit of the doubt sometimes. But South Florida lost to my Miami Hurricanes. They were ranked 18. And on their resume, they beat the Florida Gators in Florida. And week 1 beat Boise State 31-7, who was in the top 25 at the same time. They lose in Miami to the Hurricanes, who are ranked in number 4, number 5 in the polls. and they're out of the top 25 already. So I would keep them in and kick Notre Dame out. If you're kicking Clemson out, you got to kick Notre Dame out. So that's how I look at it. We'll keep track on some of these teams next week. I got two. I got Carson. You're going to be Kurt and Paul are going to try and sell you these two. I did this today. I didn't even tell you this. So this is a surprise little add-on on the college football. Going to give Kurt 1 minute. I'm going to give Paul 1 minute on the topics that they have. So no more than a minute. I'm going to keep time. You got to sell Carson. Kurt, you're first. You got to sell to Carson that Arch Manning's been struggling against this season. You got to sell to Carson why he's still the number one pick. Now, let me just tell you something. In his 3 games, Ohio State, okay, top team, 17 for 30, 170 yards, 1 interception. He bounces back against San Jose State, 317 yards, had an interception, 21 for 33. UTEP, Kurt, 11 for 25, 114 yards, and an interception. Sell to Carson why he's the number one pick. In a minute, Carson's going to agree with you or disagree with you.
All right. So here's the first thing, Carson, right?
Yeah.
You have the name Manning. You have your Eli, Archie, Eli, Peyton, all that. Everybody's gunning for you. There's the bulletin board, right? It's a Manning. You know, even UTEP's going to be fired up, and we're going to make sure he doesn't do it. Listen, the quarterback's job is never stats. It's never stats. Has he played great? No. Should he be the Heisman Trophy winner right now? No. But think about this. In the NFL, we argue about this all in all. You need a pocket passer first to win a championship. He is a pocket passer who is mobile. That is exactly what I want. I want a guy where if an NFL team says we are shutting down the running quarterback, beat me from the pocket, beat me from the pocket. The kid is athletic. The kid is accurate. Again, listen, it's not like he's going into Baylor or not. He's went to Ohio State. They're the national champs, with no respect. They come in, we know it is. Listen, he's fine.
Kurt, I'm going to give you 20 seconds.
Okay, look at the pedigree. He's a Manning. That's number one. Number two, in the pocket, the kid's got it all. The kid's got the most pressure quarterbacks had in years in college football. And you know what? Don't start where he is right now. Look at him at the end of the year. Take this kid first. I'm telling you right now. Kenny and Paul, dart 2 1s. Go get him. Bring Manning home.
Did he sell you, Carson?
Yeah, no, I think you got to give this kid patience. There's a lot of hype around this kid. Like Kurt said, all eyes are on him. He had an impossible task to go to Ohio State and try to win that football game. Yeah, he's been a couple shaky starts against UTEP, but I think when you get to week 10, 11, 12, Texas is going to be a playoff football team, and there's going to be stock that rises for players up and down the entire season. And when it gets to like the end of the year, when they're playing for bowl games and when Texas is a playoff team, that's where he's really got to shine. So I'm with Kurt. I still think, compared to other quarterbacks right now in this class, I would still take Arch Manning over a couple other guys right now. So I'll say yes with Kurt.
Okay, Kurt, you sold Carson. Paul, got to come after you. It's very rare that I come after Paul because we like the Giants. We really don't argue too much on sports, but I got to come after Paul on this one. You see, I'm wearing green and orange today. Paul's Notre Dame, 0-2. Lost to Miami. Lost to Texas A&M, 41-40 at home. That's now 3 losses in a row for Marcus Freeman. Paul, you said a few weeks ago, Marcus Freeman's a way better coach than Mario Cristobal. And I said it, Marcus Freeman's overrated as a coach. Sell to Carson why Marcus Freeman's not an overrated coach.
Carson, he took over in the middle of a season from Brian Kelly, and over the last 4 years, Notre Dame has risen back to where they once were and rightfully should be. He has been able to be a master recruiter. He has gone into the transfer portal, got quarterbacks like Sam Hartman, Riley Leonard, and obviously last year they got to the championship game. It's not just the offensive and defensive coordinators that are making Notre Dame a better team. It all starts with the head coach, especially as we can see with Kenny's New York Football Giants and my New York Football Giants. It starts at the head coach, and you see how awful that team is. So, as bad as their 0-2 start, Marcus Freeman
You got about
has
20 seconds, Paul.
been a very, very good coach. He could probably choose any other college opening if there was one and leave and get hired in an instant. So, as far as I'm concerned, Marcus Freeman is one of the top 10 coaches in college football.
Did he sell you, Carson?
Yeah, I'll agree with Paul here. Look, Marcus Freeman had a really tough task taking over Brian Kelly. He was there for 11 years, Notre Dame. Yeah, you can say they're controversial from them not being, joining a Power 5 conference, but they've been consistent for most of my entire life. Notre Dame is regarded as one of the top college football programs in the country. And they just came off of going to the national championship last year. And again, their schedule's kind of a coin flip toss up here and there, but consistency is everything in this sport. And Marcus Freeman, I think, like Paul said, he's right up there with one of the best young coaches right now.
All right, you sold Carson, guys. Congratulations. I don't know if I'm sold on either one of those two yet, but that wasn't me. You sold Carson. That was the quick segment addition there. Real quick, Carson,
Nice.
Your Michigan State Spartans are 3-0. They haven't played many good teams yet. Big one against USC.
Mm-hmm.
Do they belong in the top 25 yet, or you still consider them pretty far out of the top 25?
Yeah, I think they're like in the 40s right now. I would say, they started off 3-0. Again, 3 mediocre programs that they've faced. But listen, if we upset USC this Saturday, no question, no doubt in my mind, we're going to be a top 25 team. I think we're like a 16-point underdog. The game starts at 11 p.m. Eastern time, my time. So I'm going to be up until 2 a.m. watching that
Love
game.
it.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But again, Jonathan Smith, a lot of pressure on him, and this is his first real test he's had this season. So if they pull this off, 1,000%. But they're like in the 40s, not quite just yet. But I'm hoping it's a competitive game. But if they pull it off, I think they're instantly a top 25 team.
Nice. I like it. I like those late night games when the team travels to the West Coast because it's pretty much a late afternoon game for them if you're on East Coast time. So you're not getting that three hour difference. Ain't going to make much of a difference there. Games of the week. Kurt, give me a pick. Auburn versus Oklahoma. Your Auburn Tigers.
Let's
Traveling to
go, Jackson
Oklahoma.
Arnold. Hey, this is the biggest game in Auburn in for Auburn in a real long time. Jackson Arnold's going back. Listen, why not? It's not going to be easy, but I don't know how sold I am with Oklahoma. Listen, I'm a big Brett Venables guy, but you know what? I still got to see it. Give me Auburn. I think Auburn. Listen, their running game is getting good, and listen, I am not a run first quarterback guy, but Hugh Freeze needs one in his system. Again, I don't know what that's going to do when we play better teams defensively. We'll start to see Saturday, but I'm going to take my Auburn Tigers in a mini upset here.
I'm with you, Kurt. I like Auburn. I think Oklahoma could be a little overrated. Paul, I'm going to give you the Big 12. You covered them in our college football preview. Big one at noon. Texas Tech ranked 17 versus Utah 16 in Utah.
I think I told you guys, watch for Utah. I know they're 3-0. They've been playing really, really well. I mean, the whole Big 12 has played very, very well overall. So, but I'm going to go with Utah. I had them on my preseason as a watch the team, and I'm going to continue with them this week.
I like the coach at Utah. I think he's underrated, and I think he's gotten off to a good start there this season, and I think it can continue throughout. I agree with you, Paul. Carson, you got the Big Ten matchup, and this one's got early playoff implications, in my opinion. Number 9, Illinois, traveling to number 19, Indiana.
Yeah, this is a big game for Illinois. Indiana's currently the favorite right now. They're 5.5 points. I'm going to be watching this game before my Spartans kick off. nationally televised game, NBC and Peacock. If Illinois has national championship aspirations, they have to win this football game. This is a giant test. Indiana still coming off a playoff appearance last year. That crowd and that team's going to be electric. So that's a really, really tough ask, but that is a really good early playoff game, like you said, Kenny. Playoff implications for both of these teams. Same with Indiana. If they can pull off a top 10 win at home under the lights, I think that's going to be a good win for their resume if Indiana wants a shot to get an at-large bid in the playoffs when it comes December. So I think Illinois is going to win this football game. I like their coaching staff. I think Luke Altmaier has been terrific for the Fighting Illini so far. I think experience and depth is going to get him a little bit past Indiana, but I'll take Illinois in this one.
Sweeping the board. I'm agreeing with you guys. Put that on the ticket because I think Illinois is going to be more physical. Indiana plays a week out of conference schedule, and I think this is probably going to be their hardest game to easily this so far this season, and maybe for the whole season. I'm going to take Illinois with a huge win on the road, like you said, Carson. Put it on the ticket.
Kenny, good friend Annie Mays, go Broncos country only. Kurt and Kenny and your friends. He's saying hello to everybody.
What's
And
up,
Michael
Ernie? Come check out Kurt tonight.
Hey, Ernie.
10 p.m. Kurt's going to be on, but doing some Let's Talk Broncos. Ernie, come hang out with us.
And Michael Ronquillo just telling us, giving us a little comment saying the NCAA eliminates the spring portal.
Interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Michael. And Keith saying hello. He's on my feed. Little baseball
Keith.
comment. Yankees have never lost a game when up by 9 or more runs, but they almost did. We're going to do a little baseball later, Keith, but yeah, they almost blew a 10-1 lead yesterday. Squeaked one out 10-9 against the Minnesota Twins out there in Minnesota. So limping into the playoffs, let's just say that. Limping in. But I'm going to pass it off, Kurt. Anything else college football? Did I miss anything that you guys want to hit?
Good job, Kenny.
good. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, we can move right along. We're doing good on time. Going to pass it to the NFL portion of the show. And we got a little NFL Carson's Corner. He's got a couple good topics, and then we're going to make some picks at the end of the football segment.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. We're kind of going back and forth on this, whether we want to talk about it or not. I'm going to kind of rephrase this topic a little bit because both of these teams play each other this week. But the Cincinnati Bengals just announced that Joe Burrow has to have, I believe it's toe surgery, so he's going to be out for at least 3 months. The Bengals and Vikings play this weekend. And the Vikings are going to be without J.J. McCarthy. He's dealing with an injury as well. So do you guys think the Bengals are 2-0 and the Vikings are 1-1? Is this impact going to be more substantial for the Bengals losing Burrow or the Vikings losing McCarthy? But the backup in Minnesota right now is Carson Wentz. So you got Jake Browning, who, when Burrow got hurt last year, he actually stepped in and performed pretty nicely. And then you got a former MVP winner in Carson Wentz, who is no scrub in this league, probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Who do you think has to win this game more for their playoff hopes to be alive when it gets later into the season? And they're going to point back to this matchup as a pivotal win/loss. The Bengals have to win this more without Burrow, or the Vikings have to win it without their quarterback McCarthy. Hopefully that makes sense. You guys can kind of understand that. We'll go to Kurt first.
I think the Vikings have to win the game more, right? They're 1-1. They're 1-1. Came off a bad loss, did not play well Sunday night. So I'm going to say they need to win it more, but I think the injuries of the two hurt the Bengals more. I mean, listen, Joe Burrow is the top 3 quarterback in the NFL, maybe even the best. And they're not going to go, listen, their defense. I know their defense has been a little better this year, but they're not a team built on defense. They're a team built on quarterback and throwing the ball. And without Burrow, I think they're going to be in major trouble. I don't know if that answers it for you. Minnesota more for this game, but the injuries are going to hurt Cincinnati more this year.
Paul, who do you think has to win this game more, the Bengals or the Vikings?
I think the Vikings, like Kurt said, I agree with him. With 2-0, even though that's a competitive division, you still have the Browns and Pittsburgh, even with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not sure they're going to be up and down all year, but your division is the most competitive. Sorry, Kurt, in the NFL, and every win is needed for those 4 teams in the NFC North. So I'm going to say the Vikings. This is almost a must-win for them.
Kenny.
I can go back and forth. Michael Ronquillo saying Bengals, and I think it's very important for the Bengals to get this win as well. You got your star quarterback back out for 3 months. You got to try and get as many wins as you can. But I'm going to stay the Vikings, and I'm going to go with the Vikings. Obviously both, but the Vikings, if I had to pick one, Carson, and I look at the Vikings schedule and what they got coming up after this week, and they got in the month of October, they have I don't know the order. I just shut it off, but they have the Lions, the Packers, the Ravens. They have a gauntlet of teams coming up, so they got to win these games now. Bengals with the backup quarterback, Steelers with their defensive struggles, and the Browns. They got to win not just this week, but they got to win 2 out of the next 3 games because they have a gauntlet coming up in October and November. And they need to get on board now, otherwise they may have a long season.
For sure, yeah. I'm going to say the Vikings have to win this game more. Good stuff, guys. I'm going to combine this next question together and see what your guys' take is on this one. So I had 2 segments to this. I said basically which 0-2 team do you think is under the most pressure to get a win this week? But then our next follow-up segment question was who do you think is a coach right now in the NFL who is really on the hot seat that kind of goes aligned with the 0-2 start. So there's currently 10 teams in the NFL that are 0-2. I'll rapid fire them off really fast. Jets, Dolphins, Browns, Titans, Chiefs, Giants, Bears, Saints, and the Panthers. So give me a team out of those 0-2 teams with their coach that absolutely has to get a win in week 3. We'll go to Paul first.
I'll keep it at home. My New York Football Giants. I mean, is there more of a team that needs a win? Their first game at home, their home opener against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, some of those other teams, you have rookie head coaches, so they get a bye. You have other teams that have rookie quarterbacks. They get a pass. But if there's more of a coach on a hot seat than Brian Daboll, find me one. But this team has to have a win on Sunday night.
I would love that. I would love to see the Chiefs go 0-3, Paul. So I'm rooting for your boys, Kenny and Paul. Kenny, 0-2 team that has to get a win in week 3. You can name the Giants. You can name a team I didn't list before. Who do you think?
Yeah. I had a couple down because I didn't want to, have the same one. And I hope I don't steal this one from you, Carson, but it's the Bears, Ben Johnson. 0-2 start. If you watched week 1, very small chance they were going to win that game at the end, but he didn't give his team a chance when he made his blunder by kicking the ball in the end zone with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. Kicked it in the end zone. The Viking player runs it out of the end zone, takes a knee at the 5-yard line, 3 knees, game over. That's not bad enough. Ben Johnson comes in to Detroit, should know the offensive strengths of the Lions. And what do the Lions do? They put 52 points on that defense of the Bears and only allowed 14 on the other side. So Ben Johnson, off to a rough start, needs to get this win against the Cowboys. Otherwise, it might get really ugly early out there in Chicago. So I'm going Ben Johnson, Carson, in the Bears.
Kurt, who would you say 0-2 team has to get a win, especially for their coach right now?
Listen, I'm going to go with both of these guys. I'll just start with the Bears first, Kenny, and you made a great point. And, this is why, again, I'll always say, don't look at stats. Don't look at, oh, my God, I averaged all it. It's not fantasy football. You better be built on defense, and his defense is atrocious there in Chicago. It's like, again, he doesn't care. We're just going to worry about the offense, and his offense is atrocious. I'm telling you, listen, I don't know if he was ready, and I don't know if he is ready. You're not. This isn't you're not an offensive coordinator. You're a head coach. You're not going to win with what you're trying to do. You better change that quick. But the answer is the New York Giants. Listen, this guy, we've said it all along. All he does is lose and lose and lose, and eventually, they'll beat the 3-14 Patriots. That's not going to cut it. You better win. The Boo Birds will be out on Sunday night, and I'm going to be honest. You lose that game Sunday night to a Kansas City Chiefs team, that is not good. I'm telling you, I'm cutting bait on Monday with them. Just, you have to start showing stuff is not acceptable, because you know what? Then you're just going to have a guy like Malik Neighbors throwing, as talented as he is. He might be the best receiver in football, throwing his hands around. And it's a circus. He has a circus there. And you have to make a statement right now. You lose this game and it's 0-3. You're not touching a rookie quarterback. I can tell you that right now. I want you out of the building. Both of the whole GM, both of them Monday. If I lose that game at home, both of them are going, and that's it. I'm not going down another 3-road season, and that's what it's going to be. Get rid of them.
Good stuff, guys. I'm going to add the Texans in here. They play the Jaguars next week. That's a divisional matchup. If the Texans go 0-3, especially losing a divisional game, the Texans are in deep trouble. So I'll put D'Amico Ryans and the Texans in their spot as well. Anything else, guys, for NFL before we go on?
Yeah. I'll add one more coach. Not necessarily he's not going to get fired. I don't want anybody to think that, but this is a must-win for the Chiefs. If they fall 0-3, you might as well kiss their playoff chances goodbye, because they haven't even faced good teams on their schedule yet. They faced the Chargers and Eagles are two tough teams, but they better beat the Giants. Otherwise, they're going to be in for a long, maybe first time in career, Mahomes and Kelsey missed the playoffs type of year. So they're on hot. Their seats are getting hot over there. They better start winning. So I'll add them. Not getting fired, but the Dolphins would be another one. You could add Mike McDaniel. Has to definitely get a win. He might be the first coach fired this season. So other than that, Carson, I think you nailed it. Did you want to add anything else?
I think we're good.
Surprising 2-0 team, Colts, Cardinals. Who do you think they both go 3-0? Who do you basically a couple surprise teams?
Colts. I mean, AFC West. Like Kurt's saying, that division is up for grabs right now. I mean, when's the next time you're going to see the Chiefs start 0-2 to start their season? I mean, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. If you're a Bronco fan, I mean, the Chargers are rolling with 2-0, but Kurt's Broncos, if they go on a little winning streak, they could capture this AFC West very fast. But I've been impressed with what the Colts have been doing so far. Niners without Brock Purdy and George Kittle, they're 2-0 right now. So that NFC West is really interesting. You got three teams that are 2-0 in that division right now as well.
Perfect. What I'm going to do now, instead of you guys picking the game, I put the 3 games of the week that have to do with our teams. So I'm going to go to Paul first. Giants fan. Of course, everybody should know that, but if we got new members in the audience, Paul's a Giants fan. We face the Chiefs. I'm a Giants fan. Paul, keys to the game for the Giants to win the Chiefs, and then I'll make the pick at the end of the game.
Very simple. Pressure Mahomes. Keep him in the pocket. He doesn't have the mobility that he once did. They have no running game, so they're going to be passing the ball. With the Giants rush, that's been actually pretty good over the 2 games. They got to do it on defense. I don't care if they win a game 13-10, but keep him in the pocket and continue to pressure him from all angles. That's my key of the game.
My prediction is the Giants win this game. Surprised a lot of people, but they don't surprise me because our defense has been playing good. We just need a confident defensive coordinator that knows what he play to his strengths and not his scheme. And maybe they have a nice little talk with him and say, if you don't change your ways, you're gone next week. I know Kurt said Dable, defensive coordinator, could be gone Monday, Kurt, if the Giants have another bad defensive performance. I think this front four is too good. I think they'll pressure Mahomes on national TV. And Russ is playing great. And it may be early in the season, but I think you're going to see another good Russell Wilson performance on Sunday night. And those are going to be the keys. And I agree with Paul. I think the Giants win by a field goal on Sunday night. Kurt, I'm going to give you the late afternoon game. It's your boys, Denver Broncos. Hey, LA Chargers are hats off to them. 2 division wins, trying for 3 division wins to start the season. Kurt, give me the keys on how the Broncos beat the
Keys are
Chargers.
simple. What Chargers are going to run the ball right at us? Who wouldn't run the ball right at us? Look at the past performances with this Vance Joseph defense. Buffalo ran for over 200. Jonathan Taylor still gaining 8 yards a carry, right? The Bengals didn't punt the game. Just the defense. And listen, they're not going to come out and you're not playing around with Mickey Mouse coach. What's the guy's name? Staley now. You got Harbaugh over there. He's going to line up and run it right down our throats. That's the key. Make an adjustment. Stop the run game. I don't care. Listen to me. If they beat us through the air, tip your hat and say you're the better team. But I better not see 38 carries for 198 yards. And I'm going to be honest. I don't have the confidence that he could do it. That's the key to the game. Stop the run.
Oh,
Mr. Kirkpatrick is frozen.
I think we lost Kenny. I'm assuming he was going to go to Lions Ravens.
Yes.
So I'll talk about Lions Ravens really fast. Monday Night Football. This is a ginormous matchup. In my opinion, the game of the week. Last time these two teams faced a couple years ago, the Ravens absolutely cakewalked all over the Lions. I don't even remember what the score was. We lost by like 35 points, I think. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to all come down to the pass rush. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry could have a field day against our defense, and we have to attack first and quickly. We have to be aggressive. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with what John Morton dials up, Calvin Shepard, both new coordinators for this Lions team. And like I said, both of these teams do have Super Bowl aspirations. So yeah, this is a big game, not for conference wise, but potentially for seeding wise for the playoffs in January. So yeah, we got to stop, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. That's probably arguably the best 1-2 punch in the NFL right now. And if they get going, if Derrick Henry has 150, 200 rushing yards in this game, it's going to be a long night for the Lions. So you stop Lamar, you stop Derrick Henry, good luck. Not any team can confidently do that right now in the NFL, but Jared Goff as well. This is a big game for him. We got to get that passing game going as well. We got to limit the turnovers. Turnovers are going to be everything in this game, because if you give Lamar Jackson every opportunity that you can, Ravens are going to walk all over us. So we'll see. Ravens are -5.5 right now. So, it should be kind of a coin flip, pick 'em type of game, but there's a reason why the Ravens are the favorite. But I am also thrilled that the Lions are the underdog, because last year we were like the favorite in almost every football game. So I like the underdog. Give me the points. I don't know if we win, but I'll take the points to the Lions.
I like it, Carson. I just caught the end of that. And I'm going to say one thing. If you want to be a Super Bowl contender, you're going to need to win one big game, at least 1-2 big games on the road that nobody's expecting you to win. Mm-hmm. Why not? Same kind of turf. Joey Clams always says the turf to grass, grass to turf. It's turf to turf. There's no time change. Why can't you beat the Ravens on Monday night? So, good luck to the Lions. I think they got a very good chance of winning this game after their performance against the Bears on Sunday. And Kurt, I missed your comments, but I'm going to say, it's very hard. I don't know if you said this in your comments, but to win 3 division games in a row to start at any time of the season, but at the beginning of the season, if the Chargers beat the Broncos on Sunday, I'm going to call them a legit Super Bowl contender in the AFC. In the AFC, but it's going to be very hard for the Chargers to win 3 games. I'm going to take your Broncos in this one.
I do disagree with Keith, though, because my comment was we have to stop the run, because Harbaugh is going to run right at us. He's saying let the Chargers run because the Chargers have it. See, no. You are not winning in football if you can't stop the run. Because if you can't stop the run, now it opens up the pass. You have to make teams one-dimensional. They want to run the ball. Our weakness of our defensive coordinator is stopping the run. Our number one priority has to be to stop the run. And you know what? We're paying Pat Surtain a lot of money, right? We drafted a first-round pick. We drafted another high pick in Moss. We have 2 safeties in front. You know what? If we can't cover the Chargers no-name receivers. I don't want to hear Keenan Allen that nobody wanted. I don't want to hear those guys. If we can't cover that, that's a problem. But we cannot let this team run. First, they're going to line up and run right down our throats. We better see adjustments from the start of this game to stop the run.
If you want to hear more on the Broncos, tune in tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Let's talk Broncos, Kurt, and I'll be backstage helping him. So should be a fun one. Anything else NFL, boys? Did miss any games? Do you want to hit any games? Rams, Eagles. Anybody got a pick on that
Where's
one?
that
Can
game?
the Rams beat the Eagles? Rematch?
That Philadelphia?
That's at Philadelphia?
I'm pulling it up right. Yes, it's in Philly.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Phillies are -3.5.
Yeah.
Listen, I think the Rams could do it. I think the Rams are built to beat them. Like they got the running game, they got the play action and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Philly's just too good. Philly's good.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to say one thing too before Kenny comes back on. You know, here's my last stats don't mean anything. Don't look at QBR, all that stuff, right? It's why I respect Scoops' Eagles, the coach, and Jalen Hurts. I have all I heard these people. You can't win throwing for 180 yards and 200 yards. Well, do the Eagles win like that? They're the best team in football. That's how you should win. The Hurts don't care about stats. You don't need it. Just win. His job is to win. And you know what? Listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in football because that guy wins, man. And you know what? He makes plays. You don't care about stats, all that garbage, QBR. It means nothing. Hurts stats are probably one of the worst starting quarterback. I don't know if Carson, you agree with me or disagree with me. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's weird because Hurts sometimes will have the game of his life, but then, like you said, against the Chiefs last week, he didn't have 100 yards passing. So he's very up in the air.
Paul, what do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, listen, look at the Giants and Russell Wilson. He threw for 450 yards, had a great game, but they lost the game. So what's the point of it?
Right.
I would have taken 150 yards if the Giants won the game. Who cares?
Yep. All right, Kenny.
Okay. Couple comments, Kurt. Did you hit them, or we
I haven't. Keith is saying no name Quentin Johnson has 150. Listen, I mean, if we can't cover Quentin Johnson when we're not a Super Bowl contender. Sorry, Keenan Allen. I mean, nobody even wanted him. Guy came off the street. I mean, you can't cover them. Listen, we're not the Raiders. Like the Raiders are going to win 6 games. We're not the Raiders. You can't cover those two guys. You're going to have major problems. Man, he's saying die Eagles die. Michael Ronquillo, Marion Hampton fumbling against the Raiders. Yeah, listen, I mean, not a great start for Hampton. He got a lot, first round pick, a lot of hype, but not a great start so far. But again, it's early. It's early for him.
Yep. We're going to get into Broncos later. I got some fun ones for Kurt.
Yep.
We got one more sport to cover tonight. We got about 15 minutes left in the show. I'm going to pass it off to Paul. He's got a little Major League Baseball end of the season coming soon, and we got some good division races. A couple are pulled away, but there's still some wild card and some other stuff going on. So, Paul, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Kenny. Obviously, a long Major League Baseball season has now come down to the last week and a half. 10 games, 11 games left in the season for most teams. So I'm going to go through some of the division and wild card scenarios, and I'm going to ask each one of you guys what you think. All right. So, Kenny, I'll start with you. Does Toronto win the East? At this point, they have a 5-game lead with 11 left. Obviously, the Yankees and Red Sox are right behind them.
Absolutely, 100% they win it.
Right. Carson, the Tigers, who have basically led from wire to wire. I think they were up at 1.14 games. They're now at 5.5 with, I believe it's 11 games left. Do they win the Central?
Yes. The only way we don't lose is we just collapse and we lose like 10 of our next 14 games, which I don't see that happening. We do play the Guardians right now, and then we play them in Cleveland, I believe, next week already. So, it should be an interesting matchup, but I think the Tigers still are going to lock it up.
Okay. Kurt, the West might be the closest race the whole rest of the way. Right now, Seattle's a half game ahead of the Astros, and breathing down their necks are the Rangers at 4.5. 10 games left. Who wins the West, Kurt?
Well, you know what? Seattle, I mean, listen, Houston, I think, is like 6-4 in their last 10. The problem is Seattle's won 10 in a row. And I'm going to go out and say that these are the two best teams in the American League. I'm still going to go Houston. You know, I'm big with Houston. I like their experience, but I think both of these teams are going to be very dangerous in postseason. But I'll say Houston wins the division.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think their experience, the fact that they've been there, done that more than once, I think that's going to carry them to the division. Whether they carry it over in the playoffs, that remains to be seen. All right.
Be careful. I believe Altuve might be hurt. Be careful. Keep an eye on
Okay.
that. He may be heading, maybe more serious than people think.
Okay. For everybody, which three teams qualify for the American League wild card? And I'll give you 5 teams: Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, Guardians, and Rangers. Carson?
Which 3 teams for the wild card? Yeah, it's going to be Red Sox, Yankees, and oh man, whoever doesn't win the West. So either the Mariners or the Astros.
Okay. Kenny?
Yeah, I can't disagree with Carson. That's simple. And the Yankees get the top wild card.
And Kurt?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go Yankees, Seattle, Boston. You know, I still think, I know Texas is 5th there, 3.5 out. I think they can make one little run. Maybe you try to catch Boston, but I'll go Yankees, Seattle, Boston.
Okay. Let's go over to the National League. Kenny, who's going to win the National League West? The Dodgers right now have a slim 2-game lead over the Padres. 11 games left. Do they hold on?
I'm gonna say the Dodgers hold on because the Dodgers are giving the Padres every chance, and it just seems like the Padres squander it every time they get an opportunity. They had a chance yesterday. The Mets threw Clay Holmes and Sean Manaea, and they couldn't hit him. Both of them. They got 2 runs off of them. Phillies came back on the Dodgers and win 6-5 after Ohtani was throwing a no-hitter yesterday through 5. Right. They took him out after the 5th. Phillies win the game. Dodgers giving the Padres every chance, and the Padres are going to squander it. So give me the Dodgers.
Okay. You guys agree, Kurt?
Yep.
Yeah.
Carson? Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Which 3 teams are going to win and get in qualified for wild card? Probably the first 2 are pretty much set, the Cubs and Padres. But then you have my Mets, the Reds, the Diamondbacks, who have clawed their way back, and the Giants. So, Kurt, who do you think will be basically the 3rd wild card in the National League?
I think it is going to be your Mets. And I was talking to somebody the other day and saying, you know, listen, this could be a nice little thing for the Mets, right? Like, listen, their playoffs start now. It's not like their playoffs are going to start if they get in. They're up by 2 games, right? Or 2.5, and all that.
I think it's actually 1.5 right now.
1.5. They better take care of business. And you know what? You have to win every game now. So your momentum going into the playoffs. Listen, that's how a team can get hot. Win at the end of the season, get in, and then stay hot. I'm going to say your Mets are going to get in.
Okay. Carson, do you agree, or do you think Giants, D-backs, or the Reds?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's your Mets, Paul. But like you said, the Diamondbacks have climbed the past couple weeks to get it to 2 games. So if the Mets don't, get their act together, they could somehow fall out of this final wild card spot. So I'm hoping it's the Mets, but the Diamondbacks are a good team. They're right there.
Kenny, what say you?
Yeah, like he said, the Mariners are surging. Watch out for the Diamondbacks. They did the same thing last year and got in, and they're close. They're close. I'm gonna hope that your Mets get in, Paul, because I know how hard you root for them and you're a diehard fan. But be careful about those Diamondbacks, and they got a really good chance of getting in if the Mets continue to squander.
Paul, question from Keith. I'm going to go to you. If the Mets make it, what needs to happen for them to take home the big trophy?
Learn how to pitch, because this has been the worst up and down season I've ever seen a team play. One month they hit, the next month they don't. One month they pitch, the next month they don't. I've never seen a roller coaster ride as this team. Somehow, for the month of October, they have to combine their hitting and pitching together for the first time all year to possibly get into the series and win it. And unfortunately, they can do it. That's the problem. That's the maddening thing. They have the ability to do that with the type of team they have. They just have to get it together, and they just haven't had the consistency all year.
All right,
Bonus
Paul, back to you.
question. Bonus question. American League MVP. Basically, I think there's two guys. There could be others you might want to name, but to me, Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge are the two top candidates. I have some stats for you guys. Cal Raleigh, 247 batting average as of now, 56 homers, 118 RBIs, OPS 951, 104 runs scored. Aaron Judge, 326, 48, 103 RBIs, OPS of 1.127, 125 runs scored. Kenny, who wins MVP?
Can make an argument for both, but I got to give it to Cal Raleigh. He's going to have the most home runs by a switch hitter in history, surpassing Mickey Mantle. He's tied with Mickey Mantle right now.
He's actually ahead of him. The two home runs he hit the other day.
Yeah. Now I say to myself, I look at positions, and he's catching a pitching staff that's doing really well out there in Seattle. So he's not just a one-dimensional home run hitter. He's playing catcher and playing defense as well. So I got to go Cal Raleigh for sure.
Kurt?
Listen, I'm not picking Judge, so give me Cal.
Carson?
Yeah, like you guys were saying, it should be Cal Raleigh, but for ratings and being the Yankees, it's going to be Aaron Judge. But listen, I mean, when you break an MLB record, not only as a switch hitter, when you're in the conversation of Mickey freaking Mantle, let alone, I believe, catcher in a single season, he has the record now with 56 home runs. So if you break an MLB record, you should get the MVP. But unfortunately, they're going to give it to Judge.
Paul, real quick, we got a comment from YouTube. I'm going to go to you and Kenny. It's a Giant question. What's up, guys? Is there any chance the Giants have another offensive output like they did against Dallas, or do you see it as an outlier? Kenny, I'm going to go to you first.
The way Russell Wilson played, I think we're going to not only have another offensive output, I think you're going to see it definitely on Sunday, solving the race problem. And thanks for hanging out with us, coming back and hanging out with us tonight. Do I think it's going to be 450 yards? No. Do I think it's going to be passing touchdowns? Yes. And I think you're going to start seeing more and more of Tracy and Scatterbo used more in the run game in certain situations. And Scatterbo has been doing a great job blocking, picking up the blitzes on the blocks. I think you're going to see more Scatterbo. I think you're going to see more passing. I do, and I think Russ has another 300-yard plus performance on Sunday night there solving. So I think we're going to have a good
Tracy and Scatterbo. Just keep throwing it to neighbors, baby, for fantasy football. Just keep throwing it to them in my Carney. 45 points last week. Paul, what do you think about that?
As much as I want to agree with my astute New York Football Giants fan, listen, the consistency of the Giants is inconsistency, and as much as I want to be able to say, yeah, they're gonna move up and down the field, I've seen this happen. I've seen this play far too many times. Do I want them to score 30 more points? Absolutely. Do I want them to win? Yes. Bottom line is, I have to see it more than one time. So I'm going to say no, there won't be a repeat. It could be an outlier. But, hey, make me a liar and come up with a big offensive game on Sunday night.
But you know what? I want to go to Carson on this question because it just came up. Because this is exactly what we spoke about here, and me and Kenny talked about this off air a lot of times. This is the worst case scenario question for the Giants. Because if you keep losing, But like you said, look at what Russell Wilson did.
Right.
I mean, people are going to want Dart. Dable's going to try to save his job for Dart. How are you benching Russell Wilson to play Dart when this guy's playing like this? That's my question, Carson. What do you do? Like, what do you do as a franchise? And listen, I'm not going to say, like Paul said, 450 every week. But I mean, if he's playing like he played Sunday, I mean, how do you tell him you're not starting anymore? Seriously.
Right. No, you're 100% right. And it always should be best. Who is the best quarterback on the football field? And it's no question Russell Wilson is way better than Jackson Dart. I know the fans want to see the growth and improvement of Dart, but we literally had this conversation last week of rookie quarterbacks getting thrown into the lion's den and crashing and burning because they simply aren't ready to play the NFL at the NFL stage right now. So you keep playing Russell Wilson as long as he's healthy. He gives you the best chance to win a football game. It should be Russ.
And one more quick one, Ken.
Kurt, can I just respond to that very quickly? Sure. I will just say this. We saw this 21 years ago, 2004, the Giants signed Kurt Warner, two-time MVP. They start the year. I think they were, Kenny, 5-3 or 5-4, whatever. And all of a sudden they decided, okay, first half of the year, winning season, he's out. And they put in Eli, who was horrible. He was absolutely horrible his first 6 or 7 games. But I'm just saying that, Kurt Warner gave the Giants a much better chance to win. But sometimes they just pull the plug.
But Paul, I'm going to.
Okay. Kurt, real quick, because I'm looking at the time. We got a couple minutes. You want to know what happens? In my opinion, as quarterbacks keep going down, maybe there's some value for Russell Wilson as a little trade partner. You get a 3rd or 4th round pick and on your roster because he's only on a 1-year contract anyway. Russ, good is Russell Wilson going to do if we're 0-6? That's what I look at.
No, it's a great point. But I'm going to say this: agree or disagree with me, rapid fire. I'm sorry, Dable is not making that decision. Joe Shane's not making that decision. Ownership's making that decision. Agree or disagree, Paul?
Yeah, I agree.
Kenny?
Yep, agree.
Carson?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, Paul. That was a good
no.
Got anything else for
last question.
We got to wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, last question. Who wins NFL National League MVP? Ohtani or Carl Schwarber? Carson?
Ohtani.
Kenny?
Ohtani. What I saw yesterday, it's got to definitely be Ohtani.
Kurt?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to say Carl Schwarber. Guy's had an incredible year.
Fair enough. They're both worthy of it, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas. Kurt, it's time for some final thoughts. Wrap up the hour. Take it over, my friend.
Final thoughts. Listen, I know big football weekend, and my football weekend starts 3:30 on Saturday. Auburn going to Alabama. Then there's our good friend Patrick Wiltsey saying aloha, boys. What's up, Patrick?
Patrick, in 2 hours, Kurt. 10 o'clock p.m. I don't know Hawaii time. Broncos talk. Come hang out with us.
Then we talk Broncos 4 o'clock again this weekend with the Chargers. But Paul and Kenny, Carson, cover your ears on this one. We just signed now. Bring on those. Now I want the Pacers. Get Halliburton out of the sling. All I heard about was that stupid bench. But you know what our bench is now? Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Malcolm Brogdon, Yabusele, Jordan Clarkson. Let's effing go. That can't start soon enough. To this year, we're going to that effing parade. Carson Shear.
Yeah, great show as always, guys. Love talking sports with you all. Tell your family and friends that you love them, you care about them. You don't know how much time left we have on this earth. And spread the positivity and vibes all around, man. Thanks again for another great show, everyone.
Absolutely. Graham, thank you. Graham just put up the Carson Shear Show. Come go check out Carson Shear Show on YouTube and Facebook, right, Carson? Both?
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
Great show, guys. Always a pleasure being with you on Wednesday nights. Thank you, Graham. Always great to have you back there. And thanks, everybody, for wonderful comments, questions. Keep them coming. You're the reason we're on every week.
Mr. Rosen. I'm sorry, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Mr. Kirkpatrick, to finish it off.
I'm excited about a big game on Miami Hurricanes against the Florida Gators. That's what I'm excited about. The Yankees are limping into the playoffs. The Giants are a mess, but I still got the green and orange. So we got a big one against the Gators. They're going to come in hungry. They're 0-3, and it's not going to be easy, but we're in the top 5 right now. So let's keep winning. Our Miami Hurricanes, let's go and have a good season. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see everybody next week. Again, Kurt, Let's Talk Broncos, 10 p.m. And there's some balloons going in Carson's
Like that,
screen.
Carson?
That was a nice little added there. But yeah, have a good week, everybody. We'll see everybody 10 o'clock for Let's Talk Broncos.